Hey, this is share today's part 16th of 17th. Almost there, almost there. Make sure you watch part 1 through 15 because they're built on top of each other. So let's get into today's quote. This has been a awesome session. So today is part 17. So let me adjust the slide really quickly. So we have part 16 of 17. Like I said, the quote of today is the old school wholesaling model focuses on one prospect at a time. Okay, one prospect at a time, putting the person on a pedestal, putting the prospect on a pedestal. Okay, let's change that to prospect. Putting the prospect on the pedestal and basically getting disappointed while the new school understands the power of a pipeline. Okay, the power of a pipeline and filling it daily with people, or should I say prospects, filling it daily with prospects, right? So you need a pipeline. Build the list and build a relationship with the prospects simultaneously and equally. Okay. All right. So it's very important to pay attention to this. Okay. Well, today I also want to do a quick how to find buyers. I'm going to give you a few tips on how to find buyers for wholesaling real estate. But basically, when I say prospects, if you've been following my training, prospect is more or less buyers for you. Okay. If you're trying to follow my lead all the way, prospects are buyers. Now, some prospects could be motivated seller, but if you understand the smart wholesaling model, um, that's something that you should not be spending money on. That's something you should be attracting. Okay. Using attraction marketing. However, if you really want to get to the money faster, you are better off building a buyers list. And buyers list already exists on the internet. Okay, on the internet, in this niche, there's already a ton of buyers in the marketplace, and all you have to do is learn how to attract and convert them. Okay, getting them converted to buyers, it's not that much of work because they're already convinced that they need to be buying. Okay, so prospects are actually the existing 99% of real estate wholesalers in the game right now. Many of them, 99% of them, are not making money. Okay, they're not creating results, and actually, what they're doing is they're waiting for a leader to get them to the money. And it's easier and faster and a lot more for sure to get to the money when you start buying real estate, okay, as a as an investor, okay? But of course, a lot of them are stuck on looking for the $20,000 deals. The $20,000 deals, of course, exist. However, it's in most cases attracted to people that are in the game. Okay, you can't win if you're not in the game, and waiting for something to happen before you get in the game, it's a sure guaranteed way, surefire guaranteed way to not to not create any results. So you got to get going while you can get going. And one thing that this game has oversupply of right now is deals. You know, it's just we don't call them deals because there are no buyers. So, in my humble opinion, real estate wholesalers need to be buying. Okay, they need to start buying cash flow rental properties that pays for itself and build equity for you by itself without you having to answer to broken toilets. Because I'm not asking you to become a landlord. I am recommending that you become an investor. Okay. That means if you don't have credit, get to the credit and fix it and become an investor. In the midst of doing all of that, wholesaling deals will show up. You will attract a lot more wholesaling deal because you're present in the game. You're in the game, and only people in the game gets to win. Okay, so that's how I'll find buyers. Okay, I convert real estate wholesalers to buyers. Okay, now the traditional way basically means you have to go to REA club meetings and talk to existing cash buyers. Um, I'll tell you the problem with that, okay, in a second. Another way is getting on Craigslist and or looking for people with LLC that have purchased homes with LLCs, all this different quote unquote hacks that the gurus are teaching that basically don't work 99% of the time. They're not gonna work. Okay, they're not gonna work for an average person. They could work every now and then, but for an average person, they don't work. The one thing that works consistently in this game is marketing. Okay, if you get very good at marketing, it works. Okay, if you get very good at marketing, it works all the time, 100% of the time. What doesn't work 100% of the time is all the different hacks that you have. That, okay, drive for dollars, go to the REA meeting, look for LLCs, and then skip trace the LLC names and all those things. Don't work all the time. What works all the time, 100% of the time, is marketing. All right. So let's go through this quote, and let's give it a proper justice. Okay. The old school wholesaling model focuses on one prospect at a time. Okay. So basically, I just told you the old school way of finding buyers. You go to that meeting, you found those three or four, five buyers that claim, the keyword claim, they buy. Yeah, they probably have bought something in the past. They probably bought something in the last 3 months. That don't mean that they're going to buy from you. Okay. In most cases, cash buyers at the REIA meeting or some gurus list have 1,000 different reasons why they don't want to buy. It could go from anywhere from the comps are bad to, or I'm not buying right now, to I got a project going on right now. They have like 1,000 different excuses like that. And the reason it's not necessarily because they have an excuse, it's because they're living their own life. The reason why that's not going to work for you is because you're putting one, two, or a few prospective buyers, you're putting them on the pedestal, and they are going to disappoint you on an average. Okay. So the only way to get around what I just said is to build a pipeline, build a list of prospects. Doesn't matter if it's what kind of business you're in. In this case, is real estate wholesaling business. The best process you can build a list of that can, in an evergreen manner, decide to buy from you is buyers. Okay, because they can buy now, they can buy later. You can build a list of motivated sellers, I guess. Okay, you can do that. But you have to understand that motivated sellers become motivated sellers because of a one-time unfortunate event, usually in their lives. It could be divorce, a death in the family, it could be pre-foreclosure, right? A vacant property, bad tenancy, all these tenants that are not paying. They're typically motivated sellers, right? And deals from motivated sellers come from uh, unfortunate situations. Okay, it comes from one-time event, unfortunate situations. So if somebody gets on your list right now because they are in pre-foreclosure, they subscribe to your list, 1 year from now, they all of a sudden are not your prospect anymore. Okay, and that doesn't mean you can't do a business around that. I'm just saying there's a better leverage on the buyer side of things, because a buyer is a buyer. Okay, and they can buy at any time, because that's a positive thing that can happen at any point in time in anyone's life on face. Anyone should keep buying real estate. Everyone understands that, right? But no, you can't say the same thing about the motivated side, or sorry, motivated seller side of the deals, like seller side of the deal. They are selling at such a high motivated level very cheaply, because it's a one-time unfortunate event that happened in their lives. Okay, so because of that, doesn't have that leverage point that buyer side of the deal has. Okay, so I always recommend it's either you do both, or you do one side, and that one side is usually the buyer side. That's my recommendation. Most people do one side. On the seller side, they collect a list from Realty Track, from foreclosures.com, from listsource.com, all those different. They collect a list of people in this negative situation, and they have those lists, and they basically, uh, that's all they do. They build a list of, and then they mail them. And they are not focused on building a buyers list. They're hoping that the guru buyers list is going to be enough. They're actually hoping that the guru will be good enough to buy their deals. Usually, you're setting these people these few people up on a pedestal. In other words, you're going to be begging, you're going to be at their mercy, and in most cases, they're going to say no, and then you're not making money, you're not creating results because you're not building a pipeline. A pipeline. You're not filling it daily with your prospect. You're not building a list. When you build a list, it allows you to build relationships with that list. Okay, and with that list and with those prospects simultaneously and equally. You want to treat everybody, either they're a savvy investor, they've bought their 1,000th house, or they're buying their very first house. You want to treat everybody equally, and you want to have a system in place to basically filter the right buyer for every deal you have. And the best way to do that is to have options, is to have choices. And the best way to have options and to have choices is to build a powerful pipeline. Okay, you need to build a powerful pipeline, a list, a media platform, a database of people that will buy. Anybody that has built any type of business successfully will let you know that you need to build a list. And of course, the other two types of people that will discourage you from that are basically people that have other motives, or people that that basically they're not experienced. Okay, they're not experienced. So one of the key things that I did, I started my business in 2005, and in 2006 I quickly realized that the existing cash buyers are usually full of it, and they're not ready to buy. And I couldn't take it personally. I just had to create a solution around that. And the way I created at the time is I created a platform called the Inbuilt Equity, and it was a membership, and it was my way of building a list, a perpetual building of list. And one of the biggest mistakes I made in 2017 was took my focus off of building that list, because that list was so healthy in 2007 that I had people buying any deals that I had at any point in time. But when the recession started to hit, it turned out to be the worst thing I ever did, which is to start building my list of buyers. Okay, this to start building. Like I'm telling you, you could start building a list of motivated sellers right now. If you have a list of buyers, you will always eat, because the rest of the market will be at your mercy. Okay, it will flip. Okay, everyone needs buyers. Okay, and you can be the person bringing buyers to the table for the deals for all these other people. You can be the media. You're building a media company, not necessarily a real estate. Real estate happens to be the product, but you're building the media company. You're in the business of people. Okay, and you need choices. You have options. So the main point of this particular part of the series is that don't focus on one prospect at a time. Build a pipeline. Okay. In traditional network marketing, I was taught to figure out a way to be helping 100 prospects in 1 minute, as opposed to spending the next 100 minutes trying to help one prospect. Okay. Pay attention to that. Okay. 100 in 1 minute versus 100 one in 100 minutes. Okay, most people sit down at the Starbucks, try to call this buyer because they're trying to hope that this person will do the deal. They're hoping that this person will pull the trigger. And the problem with everything I just said is that you have hope in that equation. You have hope as a strategy. Hope as a strategy is the worst strategy in the business, in the history of business. We can have hope as entrepreneurs. There's nothing wrong with that, having a little hope and using a little hope. Okay, because we need faith. I believe we need more faith. Okay, but as a marketing strategy, hope is very, very bad. You need to build a pipeline. You need to build a massive list of prospects and build relationship with those prospects simultaneously and equally. And that's basically what I teach here on how to build your list, so you don't set anyone on a pedestal, so you treat everyone with respect and equality, and then you can extract your buyer that fits the deal at any point in time, and you can feed your family anytime you need to, either in recession or not, because you're in the business of people. Okay, so that's something that you really need to pay attention to. If you want more details on how I do that step by step, basically want to go through the book. The book is absolutely free. It's called Empire Lifestyle Secrets. It shows you how to build an empire as opposed to just feeding on deals. Deals are beautiful, but they're a subset of building an empire. You want to build a whole system. So the book is there. It's absolutely free. And it also gives you access to a free 7-day series called The Smart Business Empire. Okay, you can go get that at myEmpirePRO.com or click the link link in the description box. If you have any questions about this, any thoughts, contribution, drop them in the comments box below. I would love to engage with you. If I said anything that made any sense to you in this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And share this video with your loved ones. You can use the share button. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated, and I will see you on the next one. And peace.